Hello. All right, can everybody hear me? I'm trying to do a mic check real quick. I see two comments that popped up in the box, and right now I'm just trying. It's okay. Okay, so you guys can hear me. Okay. Had to do a mic check real quick. Let me see what y'all are saying. Hey, what's going on, Sheed? Yeah, my audio, I tell you, it's all good though. So, all right, perfect. Thank you so much for being here. I had put out something through, through Instagram, and I wanted to invite a few people up. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop a link. How about I do that? Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people are already tracking sort of what said. For those who may have missed, hold on here. She was having an exchange. There was an exchange between KeKe Wyatt and Christopher Millen. Man, this is gonna be. I don't know why this is. There's a long delay. Yeah, it shouldn't have took that long to do that. There we go. All right, I just dropped that into the chat. But let's just say there was some disparaging remarks made, and part of what she said, I understand she said that all people are oppressed. I can understand that. But you can't deny that there are varying degrees and who ends up at the bottom of society. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to play some audio from another video. What's going on, AB Media? What's up? Yeah, I needed to cut because, again, there was some disparaging remarks, and I wanted to tackle it in a very neutral, but I wanted to tackle it in a different, can easily get up on here and, really get upset by what Miss Wyatt had said. But at the end of the day, I'm not her and I'm not biracial and I haven't, walked in her shoes. So it'd be really easy for me to get irate and yell and swear And, because she got a lot of backlash, you know what I'm saying, due to her comments that were made. But I'm just going to play a little bit of this audio. And then there was a article Grio that her apologized, saying that, she went overboard. But hold on just a second, because I want y'all to hear this exchange. What's going on, Zero? What's happening? I can see you guys. And peace to all those who are watching over in Periscope. Because unfortunately, this opens up a bigger discussion outside of, whether, 10 toes down, she was disrespectful. Okay. There's no excuse. However, I saw that's just the tip of the iceberg. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously there is unresolved issues there. And that is my concern. Because again, it brings back up the whole discussion of, unfortunately, colorism and color struck and different things like that. But here, without further ado, let me get into this audio real quick. Okay. I'm like, well, what, because I saw a few headlines saying, and around the time that, Gorilla Glue Girl had, but then I seen this came out and I'm like, well, what did she say that was so bad? I mean, it's one thing to see someone's statements in, an article, then it's another thing to actually hear the tone of their voice and the context, you know what I'm saying, in which it was said. But hold on, I'm going to play some of this audio. Let me play some of this audio. Okay. Let me go ahead and fire this up. Okay, now I can't get this off of the screen. Wow, this is really crazy today. All right, here we go.
World, in reality, Black people have been, segregated, created. Can you let me have been nothing but quiet? I've been nothing but quiet and respectful. Can you let me talk?
Pro-Black. All right, praise God. Go ahead, sweet sugars. I'm not all right, because, I don't understand, we biracial, right? And we love everybody, but then you got your certain Black folk that just...
Real world, in reality.
Because you are so pro-Black, and it's okay to be pro-Black.
Well, if you're not even letting me talk, so I don't even understand what you're being.
I'm not being sarcastic.
So can you let me talk?
You have to understand, Black people are not the only people that have been oppressed.
So if you would let me talk, that would be...
ones. Jewish people have been oppressed. Okay? Well, I can keep going. I'm biracial. Oppressed. Because Black people that made us feel like white people make us feel like don't know their life. You want me to be an ignorant? I will tonight. I don't want to go there.
I'm not sure. I think you're
cool. But I think you need to understand, sugar, there is more to life than just being, because you are so pro-Black, and it's okay to be pro-Black.
Well, if you're not even letting me talk, so I don't even know.
Okay. See, now, first of all, You notice how many times she interrupted him. That was very disrespectful. Because again, I had heard a little bit about her comments, but I'm thinking, okay, how bad was it? And let me just say, peace to everybody here. I see Sheep Stay Sleep TV. You need sleep, Sheep Stay Sleep TV, particularly if you're a black man. Just saying. Shout out to all the masculine mercenaries that are out there, because I'm telling you, it was disrespectful to the highest. It really was. Even her tone was very disingenuous. I don't even know would be the right word. It really is a shame. And then I know she just did it recently. It's a shame. But I don't co-sign on that, because again, this is why certain women give us a very bad. What's going on? I'm going to try to get to this article. My Wi-Fi is all over the place, so there is a slight delay, but we are going to continue to work through this. But again, very disrespectful, among other things. So let me start moving some of this stuff out of the way. This is just not becoming of anybody. And remove her picture off of here. She did apologize. There was a article by the Grio. Let me go to full screen on this article. Okay, so let me go over. If I do miss a comment, I'm gonna definitely attempt to acknowledge everybody here, and thank you all for being here. So KeKe Wyatt apologizes after downplaying Black oppression. I know better. Wyatt insisted she was proud to be a Black woman. Okay, but yet you said biracial in the video. You said we are biracial. I'm pretty sure everybody heard that anyway. This article was taken from the Grio, written by Ashley Terrell. This article is dated February 13th of 2021, about a week ago. So I'm going to read the article. Singer KeKe Wyatt issued a tearful apology after her controversial remarks diminishing the Black community. During an appearance on Fox Soul's Cocktails with Queens, Wyatt became emotional as she expressed her regret for her comments. I just wanted to start out by saying that I am truly sorry for the way I spoke and what I said. I feel like it could have come off way better. At the end of the day, I am a Black woman, period. I am proud to be a Black woman, period, she said. Wyatt claimed being attacked made her respond in the manner she did. Okay, like I said, I only played a very short clippet of what was said. Now, me personally, I don't know her personally, and I never have walked in her shoes. But I don't know what was said to trigger her like that, but it seems to me, and I am not a mental health professional, that there is a lot of unresolved issues. There's a lot of, I don't know, some resentment, some hostility. Now, she did mention that, as she was going on her rant that, we are biracial. And, and then she did say the word certain. I heard the word certain Black people like in one of her sentences that have, oppressed her. And, again, I'm not biracial. And again, that was her speaking of her own experience. And I give her that because, like I said, I never walked a day in her shoes. So I can see that claim, that statement being valid. Hey, I'm biracial. I'm not accepted in neither community. That is definitely a valid statement. But at the end of the day, if we were back during segregation, and y'all know what I'm talking about, during the time where everything was, separate, she would not be passing. And we all know what that means. She would be in the, she would be considered Black. Doesn't matter, no matter how fair the her skin tone is, or, she'd be considered Black. And it really is a shame that, again, this issue of colorism seems to be a revolving door. It really is. And then here we go. And here I'm gonna, again, this is for her. I felt attacked, but of course, everything isn't always shown like it should be, but that's okay. At the end of the day, I represented myself, my people, my culture, my God, my family in a horrible manner. I know better. Okay, look how she started off her sentence. I felt attacked. We're going to come back to that. Because a lot of times, I felt doesn't make it, feelings doesn't mean that something actually, happened. That's what I will say. That I felt, the emotions. Again, clearly she was in her emotions. Wyatt appeared on the main T, looks like, with 4 fellow guests, including actor and former Love and Hip Hop Hollywood reality star Millen Christopher in January. Christopher spoke about the experience of Black Americans in the country who have been segregated, persecuted, hunted down, killed, stolen from, and humiliated. The Neighborhood Talk shared the clip of Wyatt, who appeared to be rolling her eyes during the discussion that turned heated. And mind you, she used the term pro-Black in a very hostile manner, in a very, well, I would say sarcastic manner, which definitely comes off as being hostile. And this is again a quote, what she said: "You have to understand, Black people aren't the only people that have been oppressed. And then she used that N-word. Jewish people have been oppressed. Okay, I can go on. I am biracial," Wyatt told Millen. So again, we're using the N-word. Yep. And look at her. And she deserved to hold up the fist whenever she was saying that. Like, In the comment section of the Shade Room, Millian criticized Wyatt's apology and referred to her as a Karen. Oh, he called her a Karen in a lengthy response. I'm going to read what he said. Now, if there are any ladies who are watching or who may watch the replay or catch the audio on the podcast, because I do plan on making this into a podcast, and okay, just be prepared to get your feelings hurt. This is what Christopher Millen had to say in response to KeKe Wyatt's apology. "You can save those crocodile tears for the Jews and the Mexicans whose oppressed you speak so highly about. You didn't have an ounce of remorse to Black lives or interest in Black history when I was speaking to you about it. Something that should have touched at least one half of your half Black bone marrow, Millen wrote. He continued. When I mentioned Black people's adversities, you were rolling your eyes, smacking your lips, and telling me I'm too pro-Black. And she did mention that. Now you so sorry. You can save this charade for the weirdos who will continue to let you smack them in the face and then they hug you when you fake cry about it, like every other typical Karen that you are, respectfully. Woo. Woo. Her comments sparked criticism. On social media for her comments, including media personality Rachel Lindsay, who spoke with Van Lathan about her comments. So again, she got a lot of backlash. And here we go. In a 2009 interview with Essence, when asked if she identified as a Black woman, she replied, "I am a woman. I ain't like Tiger Woods." Wow. Now, look at what she says she is. She continued, "The truth is, I'm 25% Black. I claim to be Black, Native American, and white. I'm all of it. If you ask me, what are you? I'm going to say I'm a woman. I stand up for all women. I don't care if you're Black, white, Chinese, whatever, but I don't know what my mama put on my birth certificate." Interesting. I think that was at the end of that. Okay, that was the end of that. So I'm sharing the screen. And I'm going to put up certain things. Life with Amanda Gathers, what's going on? How you doing? Glad you can make it. Thank you for listening. Again, like I said, that this is not going to be a drag session, but again, in the description box, I asked, were KeKe Wyatt's comments disrespectful, a cry for help, or both? And me personally, what year was she born? Let me get on my phone real quick. Yeah, I didn't think about it being possibly a generational thing. But even if, she's probably a millennial like myself. Let me see when she was born. That's a very good question. I have no problems answering that. So KeKe Wyatt's birthday. Hold on. And y'all, she's married to what's his name? I can't think of his name right now. Okay, so she is a millennial. She was born 1982. I'm looking on, I'm doing oh, good point. So because they stopped putting race on birth certificates, well, again, you see, she know better because you see, I was born in 1986 and this young lady is older than me. You see what I'm saying? Like, she got me by 4 years. And I'm about to be 35 here soon. So there's no... There we go. She's married to... Okay. Is she still married to Michael Ford, or is she... Uh-oh. She might have divorced him. Excuse me, y'all. Okay, yeah, she born in 82. But even if she was younger, there's no excuse for the comments that she made. But again, this isn't gonna. Oh yeah, 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 yep. I'm still relatively young, I guess. But yeah, we're gonna get into because I found her. Oh, good point. So you were born in 68 and no race on the birth certificate. Very interesting. Okay. So the last generation to have race on their certificates was the 1950s, which would have been the baby boomers. All right. Well, thank you for telling me that. 'Cause I wasn't even tracking. I didn't know that. But now that we've talked about, her remarks being, over the top, I do believe her remarks were disrespectful, but also she apologized. But I also believe that that is a cry for help. And again, it opens up the discussion that there is a enemy within that needs to be destroyed. Shout out to all the Generation Xers that are here. I see you. I'm not mad at you. So I'm going to put up some things because I didn't want, this is not a drag session by any means. But again, with what was said, it seems to me that we need to destroy this enemy within. I got 7 things that I'm going to put up on the screen here. So one of the things I'm going to put up here is that the number one thing we can do is be honest with ourselves. We really do have to do that. It's an old saying, that honesty is the best policy. And it is. And that starts, in how we see ourselves. It's in our thought pattern, how we interact with other people. You got to be honest with yourself. We're going to talk a little bit more about that when I'm going to move through these ones. And the number 2 thing is you got to accept yourself, or should I say ourselves. There's a lot of people today that are seeking approval from others. And it really is a shame, in my opinion. You got to accept yourself. Everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever type of, flaws or personality, whatever you got going on, you need to accept yourself. We need to accept ourselves. Acceptance is huge, not just in childhood, family, but also socially as well. It's hard to be alone on the island, by yourself for long extended periods of time. We are social, spiritual beings. Let me go to number 3. You need to embrace your culture. Now, I understand, that she mentioned that she was Black, Native American, and white. Okay. I mean, I myself, whenever I did some testing a few years ago, and I found out I have some Southeast Asian going on. But and I accept everything. However, whenever society sees me, they see a Black woman. They see the 90% sub-Saharan African and the remaining 10% that is a mixture of a lot of different things, to include Native American, Southeast Asian, Irish, German, French, and British. They're not seeing that 10%. They're seeing the 90%. Embracing a person's culture. I know this says embrace your culture, but embrace our culture. A part of that is knowing history, knowing where our people come from, and whether if it's oral history or written history. That's very important. That includes, spirituality, music, different festivals and ceremonies. Embracing our culture, that runs very deep. Let me go to number 4, because we're talking about destroying this enemy from within. We need to seek mental health. We need to do that. I'm not ashamed to tell you that, I'm still recovering from depression. I'm doing very well. And I was in a mental health institution. I'm not ashamed to tell you that. Not ashamed to get up on here and talk about anything else. Hey, Chris Thorne Show, what's going on? Thank you for stopping by. I really enjoyed your live stream talking about, you had Miss Trish on there. That was really good, great information. Talking about, the child services. Our people need to be aware of what is going on with our children. I mean, I don't have any children, but I do have nieces and cousins. Yeah, but thank you for stopping by. I pray that you get to work safely. But yeah, seeking mental health. Mental health is very, very important. When I saw her in the one in that video, in that little clip, I mean, I only gave the audio because, again, I'm not trying to steal anybody's, material. Yeah, there's a lot going on with our children. Yes. And me personally, now this is just me. Whenever I look at some of this gender war activity, my theory is, wow, what a perfect way to divide the household than to have, the Black woman go her own way, the Black man go his own way. And then guess what? That leaves a very big gap to go directly to the children. And that's my theory, because that's all what I see. It's like, oh, so that's what the strategy was all along. But that is a different broadcast. I mean, we can sit there for hours. But seeking mental health is important, because in that article, she said, I felt attacked. That's the problem. We get so into our emotions and, we stop listening. Notice how combative she was. He was right in the middle of speaking and she talked right over him. She didn't listen to not a word that man was saying. Not a word. Now, like I said, I've never walked a day in Miss Wyatt's shoes. But whatever type of trauma that has happened or whatever type of unresolved issues, go seek mental health. How can a person say that they're living their best life and they wake up angry? They are combative. They don't listen. They rarely smile. And they're in attack mode most of the time. How can a person say that they're living their best life like that? You see what I'm saying? Because I watched the body language in that video. And like I said, whatever type of unresolved issues she got going on, just go. Don't take it out on somebody on a Zoom call or whatever it was, because it was like a conference call or whatever, or a meeting, should I say? Because a lot of people are doing Zoom and different things like that. But it's like, okay, so just because somebody says something that I may not agree with doesn't mean that I just talk over them. Because if I do that, that right there means that I'm not even listening, and I don't even care to listen. Because it's about what I feel. We need to get out of that I feel and I felt. Seek mental health. I mean, an apology is nice, but seek mental health. Process whatever we need to process. Let's get it done. Repressing the emotion is not going to work, because sooner or later it's like a volcano waiting to erupt. Guess what that's going to do? At a certain point, it's going to come to the surface, and then a whole bunch of ugliness is going to pop off. And that is unfortunately what we saw. Some men might say misbehaving, but that right there was definitely a cry for help. I got it. She was disrespectful. She was sarcastic, but that was coming from a place, to me, that appeared to be coming from a place of trauma because of some of the statements that she said, and pain. And we know that hurt people hurt people. Someone is happy and content, they're not going to even speak in such a manner. Let me keep going, because I can just stay right here on mental health for the rest of the, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. There's something bottled up there that she needs to unwind and really address with a mental health professional. And that would be my challenge to her. Just go talk to somebody. Go work on yourself. Go practice self-care, which I'm going to get into. Okay. Another thing, we need to set and achieve SMART goals. We need to do that. My mother told me, listen, life is not going to wait for you. I thought about that. I thought about that the other day. I said, girl, you were 17 years old and then you blinked and now you're 34. I said, what happened? What happened? I thought I had time. But let's talk about these SMART goals that are now showing on the screen. You see them? So goals need to be specific. It can't be some vague thing. Measurable, attainable, results oriented, and time bound. So you got to have a time limit. We should be setting and achieving SMART goals. Like, for example, okay, I want to lose 30 pounds. All right. So that means I'm going to do, I'm going to get me a personal trainer. I'm going to exercise at least a minimum of 5 days per week. I'm going to do a weekly weigh-in. I'm going to track my progress each week to see how I'm doing. And I'm going to take measurements each week. And I'm going to say, see, 30 pounds. All right. We should be able to do that. We can do it in 90 days, but at the most part, 120. 4 months, we should be able to drop 30 pounds. Particularly if my weekly goal is to lose 2 to 3 pounds per week, I should be able to do 30 pounds in 4 months. You see how that was? Smart goals. We got to set and achieve. We don't have time to be yelling and screaming and talking over people about, oh, well, everybody's being oppressed. We don't have time for that. It's grind time. We don't have time for that. There are people out here doing their thing, and they are about their business. Jay Shine Randoms, what's going on? I see you, Miss Sunday. And AB Media, you still here. But you see what I'm saying? If we are busy setting and achieving goals, that enemy within, that that enemy within has to sit down somewhere. Because now we're not even making room for the enemy within to rise up. Smart goals. You can apply this with, education. Well, hey, I plan on, going back to school. I plan on starting, spring semester of, or even better, fall semester of 2021. Okay. So what I need to do is, I done filed my taxes. So now I need to file my FAFSA, my free application for federal student aid. Then after that, if I know that right there will take about a month. And then after that, I need to be making sure that I got all my money together in order to start fall 2021. And then on top of that, okay, let me see in the process. Okay, I got to take the ACT or the SAT again. I may need to take a GRE, All right, if I am delayed, spring semester of 2022 for sure. Salute to you, Mr. J. Shine. Let me go back. Actually, let me push forward. The next thing that we need to address is that we need to exercise emotional intelligence. We must do this. We must. I'm going to put this up on the screen, and I'm going to remove the number 6 off of here just briefly, because this is number 6. We need to exercise emotional intelligence. All right. I'm going to read this for those who may be visibly impaired. I will read this. Emotional intelligence, or EI, is the ability to understand and manage your own emotions and those of the people around you. People with a high degree of emotional intelligence know what they're feeling. Now, I'm going to insert a word, because feeling, again, we're trying to get away from that I feel, right? Ladies, y'all know what I'm talking about, how we can get into that I feel. So if I was the author writing this, I would have said people with a high degree of emotional intelligence know what they're experiencing, what their emotions mean, and how these emotions can affect other people. For leaders, having emotional intelligence is essential for success. After all, who is more likely to succeed? A leader who shouts at his team when he's under stress, or a leader who stays in control and calmly assesses the situation? This is a rhetorical question. Y'all already know the answer. According to Daniel Goleman, an American psychologist, who helped to popularize emotional intelligence. Excuse me, y'all. My throat's getting a little dry. There are 5 elements to it. Now look at this: self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, social skills. This is huge. Now I'm going to talk about each one, and I'm going to try to make it brief. Because this is very, very extremely important. We need emotional intelligence. We need that. Tone Malone, what's going on? How you doing? So let me start with self-awareness. I'm going to pull up an article. In fact, you know what? I might drop the article, the link in the chat, because this was an article. Let me see. Hold on here. Trying to do a copy and paste here. See if I can put this in the chat real quick so y'all can see. There we go. It's coming, y'all. Click on that link, because that goes into what I'm going to break down these 5 elements. Let me start with self-awareness. Self-awareness is pretty much, a person, we need to know who we are. I think where we run into a lot of problems, and this is just in general, is that some of us certain people are out here, they're dating and they're doing all this stuff, but they don't even know who they are. They think they know who they are, but they really don't. So that's part of what, hold on here. That's what part of what, most of what self-awareness is, knowing who you are, because who you are and what you are, and what your assignment is. I do believe that those are 3 very important questions. All right, let me see if I can, I'm going to try to read you a little bit from each one. Okay, so self-awareness. This is where we understand our emotions. And we don't let our emotions, whatever emotions that we are experiencing, we don't let those emotions rule us. So a person knowing who they are, knowing what they are and what their assignment is, those are 3 very important questions that I do believe that everyone should strive to answer within themselves. Thing about self-awareness in this article, because I am reading from the article, I'm just not sharing the screen. They're always willing to take an honest look at themselves. Remember, going back to number 1, to be honest with ourselves, to know our strengths and weaknesses, and to work on these areas so that we can perform better. Many people believe that self-awareness is the most important part of emotional intelligence. The next thing, self-regulation. This goes more into the ability to control emotions and impulses. So just because I feel like, or I have an urge to have sex, doesn't mean that I go out here and just, and just, do what there is to do. Self-regulation, they think before they act. The characteristics of self-regulation are thoughtfulness, comfortable with change, integrity, again, going back to honesty, and the ability to say no. And I think, it's okay to say no, and it's okay to, first of all, set standards, and also to set boundaries. Because too often, sometimes the people who can't say no often get overwhelmed. They'll still do what they said that they'll do, but then it's done sometimes with a strong hint of resentment and or passive aggressiveness. And y'all know what I'm talking about. Let's go over to motivation. Motivation. So people who are they have a high degree of emotional intelligence. They're willing to defer immediate results for long-term success. So they're not about immediate gratification. They are productive. They love a challenge and are very effective in what they do. Moving on to empathy, huge one in emotional intelligence. This is perhaps the second most important element of emotional intelligence. It is the ability to identify with and understand the wants, needs, and viewpoints of those around you. Ladies, this is very important. Yes, I'm picking on the ladies a little bit. People with empathy are good at recognizing the feelings of others, even when those feelings may not be obvious. As a result, empathetic people are usually excellent at managing relationships, listening, and relating to others. And they avoid stereotyping and judging too quickly, and they live their lives in a very open, honest way. And then number 5, we'll talk about social skills real quick. And those, so people who have high emotional intelligence, they have strong social skills, and meaning that they have a team mentality. You see, it's not about them. It's not about them being in the spotlight. It's okay. It's about the team. And this next sentence, rather than focus on their own success first, they help others develop and shine. So then that puts us right into a great segue into talking about mentorship. They help others develop and shine. And then here, the ability to manage people and relationships is very important in all leaders. So developing and using your emotional intelligence can be a good way to show others the leader inside of you. And again, emotional intelligence, this article is more sort of meant for like sort of like a workplace environment. But again, relationships are not just, workplace. It's also personal relationships. And one of the things how we can get better, I'm just going to do a few things and I got to move on to number 7. So some of the things that we can do on okay, so now that we got that, how do we improve on emotional intelligence? Well, observe how we react to people. Try to put ourselves in their place. Look at the environment. Humility can be a wonderful quality. When you practice humility, you say that you know what you did and you can be quietly confident about it. Give others a chance to shine. Do a self-evaluation. That's very important. Excuse me. Looking at a work setting, a peer review is helpful. And of course, having, that evaluation from your boss, that's good too. But sometimes it's good to get a very good 360 evaluation to also know what the workers, if you do have subordinates, also get a viewpoint from them. So I call that, the 360, or really it's probably already out there. But with my jargon, I call it like the 360 review. So, I mean, a person can look real good amongst their peers and amongst their superiors, but then can look like trash when, you talk to some of their subordinates. Here we go. How to better develop, more emotional intelligence, take responsibility for our actions. People are usually more willing to forgive and forget if you make an honest attempt to make things right. Examine how our actions will affect others before we take action. Emotional intelligence is key to relating well to others and achieving your goals, or should I say our goals. Emotional intelligence is an awareness of your actions and feelings. They just had to put the word feelings up in here, but okay. And and how they affect those around you. So this is a great article. I sort of pretty much covered most of it. The underrated darkness, the number one grinder. What's going on? But that right there sort of gives us a synopsis of emotional intelligence. And it's really important in the workplace and within personal relationships. Now, let me move on to number 7, and I'm just about there. Just about there. We talked about number 6 was exercising emotional intelligence. So now let's talk about number 7, practicing self-care. Let's talk about that. There we go. Now I'm going to, again, remove some things off of here. I'm going to remove the ticker, and I'm going to remove practice self-care. As you can see, look, there are various forms of practicing self-care. Self-care is not retail therapy. That's not what we're talking about. So physically, again, getting enough sleep, get some exercise, make sure that we are eating a nutrient dense diet, eating all the colors of the rainbow, yoga, different things like that. A lot of people, they play sports, because with some people, they're not a gym person. You know what I mean? They like to get out there and like play some volleyball or some basketball. Some people like to do, some boxing or some soccer, some people like to do hockey, So it could be, and some people, with COVID-19, like I said, I might take up, hey, NC worker, what's going on? Blessings to you. With COVID-19, I think that, at a certain point, I'm going to have to take up golfing, man. I have to take up, what I mean? I'm probably going to be out there, with with the polo shirt, you know what I'm saying, acting like I'm getting ready to do something, and then I end up, doing like a triple bogey. But it's all good. I might have to start off with some mini golf and then maybe, move up to the big leagues, But golf is one of those sports. It's like, we don't, I don't need to be, we don't necessarily need to break 6 feet, And I might take up tennis, you know. We don't necessarily need to break 6 feet either with tennis. Let's get to emotional stress management. Very, very important. Coping skills. And stress management also goes in with okay, I won't get into that one. That's down there further. But stress management is important. Sometimes it's okay to take a break if stuff is getting a little bit too. Just like I noticed whenever she talked over and all that. If sometimes it's if a person feels attacked, sometimes it's best just to be quiet and listen. But again, it's in the heat of the moment. At times that does get tough. It's okay sometimes to, fall back and just chill. Compassion. Let me see. Therapy. Yes, we talked about number 4 was seeking mental health, about combating this enemy within. Therapy. Definitely recommend therapy. I'm not talking about no pill pusher. I'm talking about multifaceted therapy. Particularly with mental health. Cognitive behavioral therapy, I loved it. Individual therapy, group therapy. Again, the gym. The institution that I was in, Rock Springs, which is down in Georgetown, Texas, they had an option for 2 gentlemen coming in talking about, addiction and substance abuse. And they had a minister who came in on Friday. It was, so again, you're attacking it in various different ways, not just, well, you're just going to take this antidepressant and, in like 3 to 6 weeks or 4 to 6 weeks, we'll see how you're doing. No, that's not the right answer. It's not. Journaling, sometimes it's good to just write an unwritten letter and read it out loud. And then after you hear yourself, and this is me, just from my experience. And then after you read out that letter, just rip up the letter or burn it and just be like, hey, okay, I've processed through that. So keeping a journal, definitely. Journal, diary. I also recommend, taking up a hobby, if it's painting, if it's sketching, doodling, writing poetry, even, some people, they might want to take up an instrument, learn how to play an instrument. They might want to mess around and, just try something new. They may want to try a sport for the first time. But just sort of breaking out of a routine, Social boundaries. So I talked about boundaries. Boundaries are very important. It's good to establish healthy boundaries. And a support system is, my gosh, priceless. Having a positive mindset. That's very important. Social media, again, social media is a two-edged sword. Just have to just guard what, you see and hear. And just know that that does affect us. Anything that we listen to or see, taste, touch, or smell, that does affect, what emotions that we experience. Communication, I can go on and on. And then, of course, having friends. Spiritual, sometimes it's good to be alone, meditate, be among nature. Some people like to hike, and it's just a sacred space. Hobbies, creativity, goals, identity, authenticity. Getting tongue tied here. I really did beat that up, so I got a little bit ahead of myself. Safety, feeling safe is very, very important. Stability. So safety and stability and a clean space. Yeah, ladies. Ladies, we can't be slacking on having stuff looking a mess. Can't do that. And again, having a clean space, it's not just looking good, but also having a space that is like decluttered actually brings peace of mind as well. Because think about it. If someone, out there is working from home, teleworking, as so many people are today, me personally, one of the last things I do is before I leave, I like to clear my desk. So anything that is ongoing, it's like, okay, I'm going to put this over here and then I'll make a note on it and then I'll put it in a special drawer. But I like to clear. I like to sort of like clear my desk. So it's like, okay, all right. So I completed, X, Y, Z. And then tomorrow I'm going to work on ABC. I didn't quite get it done, but I'm making a lot of progress. So having a clean space actually sort of helps combat anxiety and depression. Finances, we got to get our money together. Can't be having no 580 credit score. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. So we have to learn how to save, budget, and manage our money. And again, whatever the budget is, we need to stick to that budget and then work time management and boundaries. So as you can see, a lot of these areas of self-care, we see a lot with boundaries. We do. And it's always okay to take a break when stuff gets a little crazy. All right, so that brings us, that's pretty much it. So we pretty much tackled everything, because that was the last point that I had, was practice self-care. That's pretty much it. This is how we destroy the enemy from within. So I'm going to do a quick run through, and then I'm going to come to the end of the broadcast. I just want to thank everybody for listening, those who will catch the replay and those who are here watching now. So number 1, be honest with yourself, or should I say ourself. Number 2, accept yourself, accept ourself. Number 3, embrace your culture or embrace our culture. Number 4, seek mental health if necessary. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay. It's better to have and not need than to need and not have. Number 5, set and achieve SMART goals. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-sensitive goals. Number 6, we must exercise emotional intelligence. We must. Going back to the 5 things: self-awareness, self-regulation, social skills, empathy, and motivation. Finally, number 7, practice self-care. And mind you, this is not an all-inclusive list, because there are so many ways to destroy the enemy within. But here's the thing. Before we can talk about, as far as, the quote unquote enemies within our community, we have to destroy the enemy within. We really have to do that. We need to do that. Black mental health matters. It does. Practicing self-care matters. It really does. Can't emphasize it enough. Can't emphasize that. All those areas, we gotta do it. Well, once again, I want to thank you for watching, for listening, for being here with me. I did run a little, I was a little long-winded, you know what I mean? But this was just something that would be my response to, KeKe Wyatt's statements is, you need to destroy the enemy within. And it wouldn't be just applicable to her, but also to myself and just to everybody. It's a daily battle. Because nobody's perfect. At times we say some stuff that's pretty messed up. At times we can. But thank you for watching. I'm getting ready to roll on up out of here. I pray that you have a great day. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Let me see here. Yes, words are free. It's how, should I say, we use them that may cost us. Y'all know I was gonna put. Oh, I am a proponent of men's rights, and I'm definitely pro-family. No apologies. But I'm getting ready to get on up out of here. I'm just showing some different things that we're doing. So with that being said, y'all have a great day. I love you as a sister. I'm not going to get up on here and drag KeKe Wyatt, but what I can do is highlight the importance of mental health, practicing self-care, and for us becoming a better version of ourselves. It'd be real easy for me to get up here and drag her, but for what? That is not going to help us at all. It's not going to solve any problems at all. So, that being said, please hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe. Share, please, throughout your social media. And let me see. I'm trying to get back on over here to the screen. There we go. Y'all have a blessed day. Peace and blessings.